Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to use head function for reading the files from dbutils. So what is the syntax is dbutils.fs.head. So what it does is it reads only initial bytes of a file. So it is not ideal for handling large files. So this method is usually used to quickly preview the content or structure of a file. If you try to see what is the syntax for head by using help function. So if you want to know, if you want to get help on any function, you can use this dbutils.fs.help, and inside this you can mention the function. Suppose I want for head. So if you run this, it will write the information about head function. See, telling that returns up to the first max bytes of the given file as a string encoded in UTF-8. Example, head. Head of inside, you need to mention the path. Okay, so it mention here what are the syntax parameters. Okay, so next we'll see how to use this function for our Databricks dataset function. So in Databricks community, so we have a few readily available datasets. So in that, we'll take this one Databricks dataset. So how we'll go through is first, I'll use %fs and ls command to list down all the files. If you run this, so it will list all the files available in DBFS, means root files. So we have file store content and Databricks datasets and results. So in this, now currently I'm interested in this dataset. Okay, so just double click on this, and copy, Control C, and next time you paste here. Okay, use %fs ls before that, and you paste here. So if you run this, it will list down what all the files and directories available inside this particular dataset. Okay, so if you see here, we have these many datasets. So COVID is there, adult, airlines, Amazon. Okay, so we have a lot of datasets. So for your practice purpose, you can use it. You can use these datasets. Okay, so in this dataset, what I want to do is, see under datasets, Databricks and datasets, I am taking structured streaming and into that events file. If you see here, Databricks datasets, structured streaming, this structured streaming. Okay, so inside this we have events file. If you want to know exactly, if you want to see the files, again inside this structure streaming, just run this one. It will list down what are the files and folders available inside this structure streaming. So if you want to practice for structure streaming project, you can use help of these datasets. So in that one dataset is events. Okay, so we have only one dataset. So this events folder, again I'm trying to list down. So under events, what are the available files? So if you see here, under these events, we have almost all JSON files. Okay, so structured streaming, no? So structured streaming will get a JSON, either JSON or CSV. So here they kept JSON files. Okay, so next in this, I selected file 0 JSON. we have a lot of JSON files. No, in this first file I selected. So now you understood no how I came one by one. So if you know directly the path, you can run only this particular cell. So for understanding and how to go through step by step, I told all these things. Okay, %fs, then again in this Databricks datasets, again in this structure streaming, and again in structure streaming we have events folder. Again under events folder we have this many JSONs. Okay, so in this first JSON I am taking. Okay, so what I'm doing, this is our path. Okay, so this how I got is I just double click this one and copy this. So what I want to do here, I want to use head function. So I used %fs head and I pasted this one. Whatever I copied, I pasted. If you run this, see it will show what is the data inside this. And if you observe this very first row, what it does is truncated to first 65536 bytes. So that means it's not showing full file. So it's showing only this much bytes. Okay, if you use display command, no? If you read by using spark.read.json, and if you give path, this JSON path, and if you try to display, it will display all the records. So, but here head method, it is displaying only limited bytes. So that is telling this one. It shows only, it reads only initial bytes of a file. Okay, so that's why it is not ideal for handling large files. Okay, so if you want to see just quickly preview, then you can use this add function. And okay, so this %head. Okay, so next we'll see further how to use this head function. So now we saw JSON file. Okay, so how to read JSON file. Next we'll see CSV format. So for CSV format, I am taking bike sharing. If you see here, bike sharing, where you will get in same Databricks datasets, under this, we have bike sharing. If you go above where we read this very initial, see Databricks datasets, and here you can see bike sharing. B, okay, this one. So this one I copied and I am using here. What I'm doing here, I'm listing down what are the files and folders available under this bike sharing. So for that I'm using %fs ls. And if you see here, so we have one folder, one read file and one bike sharing data 001. And I want to see under this what are the files and folders available. So how much depth I will go is until getting format files like either CSV, JSON, or Avro. Okay, until getting these kind of files, I will go inside the structure. So under this data 001. So from where I got it? From here. I copied from here and I'm listing all the files under this path. So we have two files here. One is day.csv, hour.csv. And here what I'm using is dbutils.fs.head. So earlier I used simply %fs head and path. So this is one more way. So what you can do here is, this is one way. I think I already written here. Yeah. So this is one method. Yeah, I will show here. See, this is second method. First method, what you can use it. So how I used here, no, %fs head and this path. So you can use either of the method. It will give you both same result. Okay, so here I'm using dbutils.fs.head and a given path. So, and if you see here, yeah, and if you observe the difference between, it will display both same result, but format is different. If you see %fs.head, maybe we can see for same this folder only. We'll see what is the difference. See %fs head, it giving exactly how it looks in CSV file. Okay, so columns, rows. So this is comma delimiter form. And if you observe dbutils.fs.head, it giving in string format. See, it started with a single quote, and at the end of the each line, we have slash r and slash. See, slash r slash n. Okay, so this is a string format. So whichever, yeah, as per your requirement, you can use it either dbutils.fs head function or directly %fs head function. Okay, so this is the difference between these two. And if you see here, utility can pull the first few records of your file using the head function. dbutils.fs.head can be passed with a number of bytes parameter to limit the data that gets printed out. So what you are telling is, if you see here dbutils, see it printed all the records. Okay, see this printed all the records, and if you want to limit, and if you observe here syntax, see first one is dbutils.fs.head and path. So it will read entire file. And second option is on top of that you can mention bytes, how many bytes you want. So you can mention 10, 100, 200, anything as per your requirement, you can mention that. So third method is this one, %fs head. Okay, so these first and third we already see how it generates. Now we'll see this method. So bytes, how it is limiting. So here what I'm doing, I'm giving 1000. So it will list only 1000 bytes. See it mentioning truncated to first 1000 bytes. Okay. So if you count this whole thing, no, it will be 1000 bytes. Okay, so that is the difference. So second one, I'm using %fs head on day.csv. Okay, so same thing. So okay, yeah, I already shown here. No? So okay, it is repeated. So second one is Titanic dataset. So where it coming, file store tables, titanic.csv. So this one I have in my local, I downloaded it from outside and I uploaded in our catalog, okay, DBFS. So from there I'm ready. So where once we load into DBFS, where it will be there under file store underscore tables, Titanic. So you can see here %fs ls. Yeah. So you can use this function %fs ls and file store tables. So how I got this path is, again, if you go to first one, %fs ls. So here, first one I have DBFS file store, and under this I have contents. If you want to see that, Copy this one and paste here and try to run here. It will list down all the files and folders under this file store. See, I have this many folders, files and folders. So here I am interested only in this. Okay. So whatever we upload through catalog, all will be stored under this one. So this I copied and yeah, I copied, pasted here. And if you see under this, that Titanic dataset will be there. See this one. So this path I copied and this one I'm using here, Titanic dataset, this path. So here we have three methods and I used first one, dbutils.fs.head. Okay, so as I discussed earlier, see it generates in string, single quote. Start and end will be single quote. And similar way, if you see second method, so I limited to only 100 bytes. Okay, so that's why it's showing only first 100 bytes. If I try to increase this one 100 to 200, see this will change first to 200 and say this bytes also got increased. Okay, so this is third method, %fs head. So three methods I shown. So now we'll see one JSON format. So JSON format from where I'm taking. So this single line 5 JSON I uploaded through catalog. Okay. So this path I got from here. So earlier I shown here, no? So file store. Yeah, here. So from here I got this path. Okay. So you can upload any some JSON file and you can copy that to file and you can use it here. Okay. So here I'm using these two methods, dbutils.fs.head and %fs head. So first I'm using dbutils.fs.head and I'm using this path here. See it generating result. This is JSON file, no? It started with flower bracket. Since it generated a string, it is a single quote is there. And on top of this, I'm using this bytes. So since I given 43, it generating only 43 bytes. So if you want to more, you can increase this one. So here I mentioned two, no? So you can add it one more, like adding the bytes. So there I given 43, so you can add it 0. So either of the method you can use it. So here third method I use %fs and this path. Okay, so see it showing in JSON. So how it looks in real JSON, no? So how that similar way is showing here. See, since I used a single line JSON, is showing in single line. If you select multi-line JSON, then it will show in extended way. Okay, so it depends on what type of JSON file you are using here. And this is %fs head. We'll see this method will work. Yeah. See %fs head is showing in this. See exactly like JSON extended JSON format. See here I used multi-line. So why showing like this is I used multi-line. See here what I used single line. Okay. So single line, since I used single line format is showing in single line. So here I used multi-line JSON. So it's showing in multi-line JSON format. Okay, so depends on what type of data you read. So last type is text format. So text format, what I'm using. So I uploaded one file in DBFS cached underscore data.txt file. So I'll try to read this one dbfs.fs.head, and I given this path. See it reading whole text file. Okay, in string format. And at end of the row, you'll see this one in between. And if you use head method, see it displaying exactly like text file. So we'll try with one more method here, like limiting to some bytes. So here, since we have some less data, I'll try to give some 25. See, it giving this much, okay, 25 bytes. Or maybe you can increase to some 50. See, this will get changed to 50 and data is increasing. Okay, so here also there is update, like you can add it this method also. So either of the method you can use it. So whichever method is relevant to you, you can use it, that particular method. Okay, so I try to explain four types of different types of formats by using head method and by using these three different methods. Okay, so that's all about this video. So if you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.